What's your personal financial management framework? Do you actively use one? What are some of the ways in which you ensure that your monies are directed efficiently and effectively? How productive are those strategies so far? We're going to be examining some financial management frameworks that are vitally important to the way in which you direct, manage, and grow your finances in this video. So let's jump in. Welcome back to Ira Living. In today's video, we're going to be looking at personal financial management frameworks and help to decide which one is best for you to use when managing your finances. A financial management framework is a structure or concept that is the underlying principle to your financial management system. From these many different financial frameworks that exist, the best one is going to be those that apply to your personal situation and circumstances. You need to factor in your income, your expenditure, your financial focus, and use these to help you to determine which of the different frameworks are going to be most suitable for you in order to maximize your financial management and get the best benefit for what you are aiming to achieve. One of the fundamental roles of the financial framework is to help you to apportion your money in a way that is going to be best for you, to help you to afford your fixed or variable expenses, and to ensure that you're also able to do investments and save as best as possible for your financial future. The key focus for each framework tend to be three primary things. Firstly, it's the fixed expenses, and these are expenses that are fixed for a time period before they either increase or decrease. And these tend to be things like your mortgage or your rent, your debt servicing, and other forms of repayments, as well as things like telecommunication contracts and things of that nature. Then the second area is variable expenses, and these tend to be things such as your utilities, things such as your shopping expenditure, your ledger, and other things where the prices can vary within a given time period. And then thirdly is generosity, and this involves things like tithing, charitable giving, and gifts, as well as savings and investments. There are several types of money management frameworks, and in this video we're going to take a look at 5 different types. It is important, however, that you are conscious of the fact that when you get to the point where you want to manage your finance, maybe none of these 5 will work initially for you because of your situation and your circumstance, which means you will need to first of all take into consideration each of these parts that we've spoken about. So your fixed expenditure, your variable expenditure, and your generosity, and see how much of those that you are currently spending in terms of that figure divided by your income multiplied by 100 to work out what percentage of your monthly earning or whatever your earning period is you are using and spending towards servicing those expenditures. And that becomes your baseline percentage that you are going to be using. What you can then do is start to apportion your money based on any of these 5 that we're going to be sharing with you until you get to the one that is most suitable and most appropriate for your family, and to realize your ambitions and your vision in how you want to be able to be generous. So being able to save your money, invest money, and also being able to either tithe or donate to charitable causes, as well as different forms of gifts. So we're going to talk about these 5 now, and then you can decide which one of those will be best once you've gotten to a place where you are starting to focus on managing your money and making sure that you're directing your costs and making cuts where you can to then step up on the ladder of one of these. The first one we're going to look at is the 75-15-10 rule or method. And what this does is it says that 75% of your money needs to go towards servicing your fixed expenditure. And then 15% of your money goes towards servicing your variable expenditure, and the next 10% goes towards your generosity. Now, this is your decision as to whether or not this works for you. For some people, they might use others, and hence why we're going through 5 of them. For some people, they might have less needs that they need to service and want to add a little bit more towards servicing their wants, and hence they might be more inclined to use the 70-20-10 rule or method, where 70% goes towards their fixed and 20% goes towards their variable, and still maintaining that 10%, as in the previous one, going towards their generosity. The third one is the 60-30-10. And again, this one reduces the fixed expenditure, increases the variable expenditure, and maintain a steady generosity expenditure. Again, as soon as you're starting to cut back on certain costs and managing to keep them a little bit tighter, it gives you more room to maneuver, and hence what this is doing in this scenario. The fourth one that we're going to share with you is the 60-20-20 rule or method. The 60 stays the same for your fixed expenditure, but instead of increasing your variable expenditure, it maintains 20% for that and instead increases your generosity. So this way you're increasing the amount of money that you're saving or investing. The fifth one that we're going to share with you is the 50-30-20 rule. And for this one, you've noticed that the fixed expenditure has been taken down by 10%, whereas the variable expenditure has been increased and the generosity expenditure is kept at 20%. Now it's up to you to decide how you want to change these expenditures that works best for you. Now you have to see your situation and see how it works best. So initially, when you're starting out, you want to have a look at what your fixed expenditures are, what your variable expenditures are, and what your generosity is. And then what you want to be able to do from that is to use those amounts divided by your income that you get and multiply by 100 to work out what the current rule is that is being used. It might mean that initially you might have nothing for savings because you're trying to make sure you cover the other things. What you then need to look at is see how you can reduce some of your variables. And if you can reduce some of your variable expenditure, then you will have an opportunity to then be able to push that over into your generosity pot and then being able to work from there. Now, as you gradually continue and you get better at it, then you are able to look at changing some of your fixed expenditures, especially when you have fixed terms come to an end and you can try to see if you can find better deals or better rates to support you in reducing your expenditures and being able to increase your generosity pot. It all depends on the type of lifestyle that you want to curate for you and for your family. These financial management framework help you in a few ways, and the primary ways in which it assists you is it assists you in managing your finances carefully. It allows you to avoid getting into debt, allows you to seize opportunities for investment, save for various projects, and prioritize those things that needs to be first. Managing your expenses and putting enough money into an investment fund of some sort increases your opportunity of building out your wealth portfolio. You can also watch our video that gives you information about investment vehicle choices that you can explore, so that it gives you some ideas as to ways in which you can invest your money in order to build out your wealth portfolio. Whatever you do with how you're spending your money, you need to ensure that the framework that you're using is one that best suits you and one that maximizes the way in which you're directing your monies when you're earning those from whatever source of income or stream of income that you currently have. Remember, financial literacy is revolutionary. It has transformed my life, and I believe that it can do the same to yours.